This is a demonstration of some parental controls for the Mikrotik Access Point devices, primarily around things such as smart TVs, but can also similarly be used for mobile phones or other connected Wi-Fi tablets. So what you want to do with your Mikrotik device is you want to connect into it, and if you haven't already got it, you should go and get hold of the Winbox tool. Which is very, very handy, a nice Windows-style user interface. Within the tool, you want to go and find the listing for your wireless devices, your wireless interfaces. So we have a wireless 1 and a wireless LAN 2, and these are the ones we're going to use. These have SSIDs, network names of my hotspot, so just for demonstration purposes. We have a 2 gigahertz band one and a 5 gigahertz, and there were also some guest network virtual interfaces. That you can use these as well if your devices are set up to use those and you want to restrict them to certain times a day. So what you want to do now you've identified the actual interface names is underneath the system configuration. You want to go and find scripts. Now we've already created these for convenience here. What you need to do is to create a new script, and when you've got that script, you can then go and enter the commands down here for what you want to do. So you need /interface wireless set and then the interface ID, and you're setting the SSID to something that is different from what it should be. So in our case, we're just going with inactive. It doesn't actually turn it off, it just makes it a different name which any connected devices won't identify. We're going to then hit OK on this, or cancel in this case because we haven't changed anything, and we want to do a second script which is to revert the change. So again, we've got the interface wireless set and then the interface name. As you can see, we should list any interfaces, so both the 2 and the 5 gigahertz here, and then you're again setting the SSID. This time you're putting it back to what it should be. With that in place, what you then want to do is to go into Scheduler. So I'll just close this and we'll show you where to find that one. So you would go to Scheduler, we go to System, and then underneath there you can find Scheduler. And underneath here, these have simply been disabled, so we're going to just turn them back on quickly. And for the Scheduler, it has simply the name of what you're calling the schedule, the start time and date, and well, how often you want to run it. But in fact, it's just going to run on a 24-hour basis. And you're going to use system script run and then the name of the script as you provided it. So in this case, rename Wi-Fi, and we have another one with revert Wi-Fi. So what we'll do, so the time now is 15:24. So assuming that the PC clock and the Mikrotik device clock are about right, we'll quickly go with 15:25, and we'll hit apply on that. And if we're lucky, then that will actually run in time. We can then go and edit the revert Wi-Fi. In fact, I think that should run, even though it's got a start date of way back then. I think the repeat option should catch it. So the option to turn that back on again, we'll go with 15:26. Now, it's not going to be very easy for you to see what's going on here in terms of Wi-Fi connectivity, so you may have to take my word for it. So if we hit apply, and basically what you would do for this in terms of a real live implementation, so if you find your children decide to get up very, very early in the morning, as mine do, then what you would actually do is to set this for sometime in the middle of the night. You for actually renaming the Wi-Fi, and then you would actually turn it back to normal when they are allowed to start using devices or smart TVs, for example. So keeping them out of YouTube before 7 a.m, for example, would allow you to do that. Obviously, what you need to make sure that is done is that the smart TV only talks to this particular hotspot or access point. So if you have multiple access points and they still have names that the television could connect to or the other devices can connect to, then it won't be quite as effective because the device will simply hop over to the other hotspot. But that's basically it. So when that runs, it will go and rename the hotspot. So in fact, if we have a look at, we may well have missed it at this point, at the actual wireless interfaces, then in fact it's still showing my hotspot. Let's just actually tweak that slightly. Let's set that to go, we'll use today's date, which I'm going to have to type in. And in fact, we'll bump it ahead and we'll make it 1528. There we go, it's actually saying next runtime now. I'll try that again on this one. Then we'll make that one 1529. If we hit apply and hit OK, now what I would expect to see in the wireless view here is it should pick up that name. In fact, I think the log may catch this as well. But we'll close that and wait for the 1528 time to tick round. In fact, I think it just has. Let's see how accurate our clock is. There we are. We have 1528, device changed by admin. So if we go into the wireless view here, it has in fact changed to inactive. There we go. So in 1 minute's time, that should change back. And the Wi-Fi hotspot will be back to working as it should do. And that's basically it. So hopefully this can be of some use to somebody. You may find yourself actually having to use different devices, of course. In principle, this should work in the same way. Obviously not with this set of tools, but if you have a scripting or automation capability in your access point or router, then you can consider this to be an option for how you can do this sort of thing. There we go. It's just flipped itself back to the My Hotspot name. Yeah, hopefully that can help somebody out if they're having trouble with parental controls and children getting up way too early in the morning. But hopefully you like this video, and please feel free to like, subscribe, etc., and keep an eye on the blog. Thanks very much for watching.